Alright, guys, so we're back yet again, and we're going to be talking about another horror movie. We're going to be talking about R.L. Stine's Pumpkinhead. Brand new movie. You guys can watch this on Tubi right now. And I don't remember too much of this book. I really don't. But this movie it's interesting because you have these characters that go to a town. And again, I'm going to get into the good and bad of this film. So the entirety of, again, this movie is based around the main characters of, you have these two brothers and their mom who move into this town, right? And the youngest brother is pretty much, I would say, I'm trying to find the right word. He's kind of like, okay, why are we moving to this town? You know, the normal kind of kid. Like, I shouldn't be, coming to this podunk town, type deal. And his brother, Finn, who is kind of the optimistic one of the family, is like, oh, hey, be nice and, give this place a chance. And his mom's trying to do the same thing as well. And they meet this sheriff and they get invited to this harvest and they get a bunch of vegetables and everything for free, but the owner of this is kind of weird, like he's hiding something, and he tells him get away from this one area that is a pumpkin, and he starts kind of caressing the pumpkin like it is, I would say, worshiping it. He's kind of worshiping it. And what happens is the youngest brother becomes friends with the sheriff's daughter, and she starts warning him like, hey, stay away from this, the guy's crazy and there's a lot of legends here. Well, of course the kid doesn't listen. He steals the pumpkin, and the pumpkin starts to rot, and then the brother finds out after the sheriff goes to this family and says, hey, I don't want to try to assume, but did your son accidentally take a pumpkin? And when the brother tries to take it back, he goes missing, and the youngest brother's like trying, like, okay, like, where is he? And the mom doesn't know who he's talking about. Neither does the sheriff. Nobody. So apparently, what the sheriff's daughter informs him is, hey, this is what happens: is when someone digs too deep, someone goes missing, and the only person that remembers them are kids. But as soon as you turn 18, because you're eating this food, you're going to lose your memory somehow, some way. And he's like, well, I didn't. I ate the food, but I didn't. She says, I'm not sure how it works, but other than you got to be a certain age and then you lose your memory. And he's just like, okay, well, what do I do to help my brother? And so they have to go and find this crazy guy on the outside of town who supposedly knows about the farmer. And they try to distract him. They try to get information about the pumpkin, but there's only so much they can do, because they soon realize that the one that's helping him is actually the son of this farmer, who apparently his father sacrificed his sister so that way he could grow these crops, because that's pretty much what was going on, is he would make a sacrifice, and that way that the harvest could be good every single year and the lands would flourish and grow and everything of that nature. And when this happens, the character Rusty try to find his sister. No one remembered who the sister was, and he pretty much went on the outskirts, and everyone forgot him except for his father. And he helps these kids try to find the youngest brother's older brother. But when he does, he realizes that it's not going to be as easy as possible, because the sheriff is kind of, I don't know, I felt like the sheriff was off during this entire movie. Like, he was out there, like he just was too kind, and he was trying to keep his daughter away from that one kid. They're able to sneak out, they're able to distract the farmer, but then it gets realized that the youngest brother's brother, Finn, is being sucked into the pumpkin, and they're able to reverse it, and everyone starts remembering. And when everything starts to get a little bit better, Rusty starts realizing that his father remembers of his sister, and when he tries to go help the others, it's a little too late because it gets revealed it was the farmer that did this. It was the sheriff, because the sheriff felt like he had to do it to protect the town because he found this book that was able to do this, and he tried taking the one, I believe Sam it was, and between the daughter, the older brother, and everyone, they were trying to protect him and also hold off against the Pumpkinhead monster. And as soon as everything seemed like it was good, that they were able to defeat the sheriff, they were able to defeat the monster. Younger brother comes out, tries to go see his mom and his older brother. They have no idea who he is because they didn't get it in time because the vines were still wrapped around him, and he gets left alone. And the the pumpkin just sucked into the soil, and now it's only him, the sheriff's daughter, and the one Rusty. And he goes, I don't know what to do. And Rusty, I guess, offers him a place to stay. And of course, the daughter's like, hey, you got us. And that's how the movie ends. Now, again, this movie wasn't bad. Again, it supposedly it was like set in the 80s or the 90s. But here's the problem. You brought up Uber Eats. Uber Eats was not a thing until like the early teens of 2000s, I think. Like 2014, 2015, or later than that. Then you show Tubi when they're trying to watch, movies on TV. It's like, again, that wasn't introduced in the 80s or the 90s. This is what you're going for. And then again, with some of the character development, it wasn't a very big character development for the youngest brother because he did not want. He wanted to be an only child because his brother always seemed like he was the golden boy. And when he finally got what he wanted, he missed his brother. But then he didn't also realize that it just seemed like his mother and his brother just got along better. Like it was just always them two. Like it should just been always them two. And that's what it seemed like. And at the very end, he got what he wanted. But at the same time, he was also upset because now his family has forgotten him and he doesn't know what to do. So I think it was an okay movie. And again, this was based on a Goosebumps book, but I think it was just an okay movie. It wasn't extravagant. It wasn't, oh my god, it was the best thing ever. It was an okay film. It was an okay film, and that's pretty much where I'm gonna leave it at. I think it was an okay film. Is there gonna be another one? Possibly. I'm not sure if there's gonna be another one. I haven't read the book in I don't know how long. I don't remember if I did. But if you guys have seen this film, what did you guys think about this? Was it a good film? Was it a bad film? Was it okay? What's your overall thoughts? Let me know about it down in the comments, and I'll see you as always on the next one.